What's up, guys? Nick Foy here from AskNickFoy.com, bringing you another daily video on my YouTube channel. So if you're new here, welcome. I upload every single day, so make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and you'll be able to get notified each day when I've got a new video lesson coming out. So today's video lesson, we're going to be talking about the costs of starting an online business. So we'll go ahead and start kind of writing them out here. So when you go to start an online business, the first thing you're going to need is a website. So a website, you can start the free route, but that's usually not recommended. Instead, you want to get a hosting company. So the website hosting is going to cost you about $4 a month. So you're looking at, maybe $50 for the year. So that's going to allow you to rent web space on the internet for your website to be live. Otherwise, you can go the free hosting route where you build a website off a free platform, but those are real limited websites that don't have a lot of functions. They don't look professional. They're going to cause you more headaches than it's worth. So I would recommend shelling out that $4 a month, $50 a year, if that shouldn't be unreasonable to afford. You're also going to need to pick out your domain name. So this is, the URL that your website goes by. So in my case, asknickfoy.com. So a domain name costs maybe $1 a month. So for the year, you typically pay a yearly renewal fee, and it's like $10 to $14. So to make math simple, we'll say 12. Just depends on where you buy it. I buy mine off namecheap.com. It's like $9, $9.89 or something like that when I buy it. And then when it renews, it usually renews, I think, at $10 and something. It goes up a little bit. But if you go to asknickfoy.com/namecheap, those are, I'll go ahead and write the resources here. So it's just my website URL.com, and then it's /namecheap. So the word name, the word cheap, all together. And then same URL, but /Bluehost. So these are my two affiliate links that I created so that people can click those. And then it tells both these companies I sent you, so they credit me as referring you. So it just helps me out. You don't have to use those, but if you do, I want to thank you, for your support. So these are your two website costs. So I've got hosting with Bluehost. That's my host. And I pay, now I pay a little bit more. I pay, $100 a year for web hosting because I'm on a higher up plan, but you can get started on the basic plan for $4 a month, $50 a year. Then you buy your domain name, which costs $12 a year. So right there, you're looking at $62 to run a website per year, which is pretty cheap. That's about $5 a month, which is, I guess, if you want to compare it to coffees like everybody else does in their finance videos, you just cut out one coffee or, one McDonald's trip a month, and you've got your $5 you're saving to afford your website. All right, so now we've established that a website is going to cost you maybe $60 a year. And then your next step would be to get an email service company. So this is where you're going to start putting opt-in forms on your website to capture people's email addresses. And this is how you're going to get in contact with them to try to sell them your product or service by email marketing. So your website is kind of that resource that people come to learn more about you. And then to really start marketing to them, you want to have an email marketing system set up. So email marketing companies can range from free, if you use like MailChimp, they're one that you could get started with. Or if you want to use paid plans, then you could go with ConvertKit, and they start off, I believe, at $29 a month. So that's the company that I use. And I used to use MailChimp, and it took me a while, and I built up like a list of 200 email subscribers. And then once I switched to ConvertKit, within like the first month or two, I doubled my email list. And then, now it's growing at 400 or 500 email subscribers every single month. And I think a lot of it is due to the different features of ConvertKit. They've got some better looking forms as far as opt-in form design goes. Their functionality as far as once somebody subscribes to your list, you can do different tagging features, segmenting, different advanced features. It's another video. I won't get into it today so much, but basically it was a pain trying to move from a free software over to a paid software. So you can make that decision if you're trying to run lean. Start out free. If you've got the budget, I would start out with a paid company. There's Aweber, Aweber, MailerLite, MailChimp has some paid plans, and then there's ConvertKit, and then there's some higher up plans as well that cost a lot more than $29 a month. So you'll have to do some research, but I've only got experience running on ConvertKit, so I've got other videos on my YouTube channel you could check out if you want to learn more about them. So once you get traffic to your website, then they see, your opt-in form, so they join your newsletter, or you can send them emails and market to them. And then you got to decide, what other softwares do you need to run your business? Are you going to be running an e-commerce store? Because if you're running an e-commerce store, then you're going to need some kind of e-commerce platform that you sell products on. So a few for this would be WooCommerce. They are a free platform where you can run a store where you sell clothing or things that you're buying off Alibaba and bringing over to the US and then shipping out to them if you're doing one of those retail arbitrage stores. There's also other third-party platforms that can host your products for you. So like Teachable is one if you're trying to become like a course instructor where you're selling online courses. We've got, let's see here, WooCommerce, that's more of like a shopping cart, like your typical, they click on a product, they add it to their cart, and then they check out. Teachable is more for selling online courses. There's one called, I think, eJunkie, if it's still around. That's another platform where you can sell things, so you could sell digital products. So this is like ebooks, courses, things that they'll pay for, and then they get automatic download links. So you're going to need to think about what platform you're using. Teachable, they have a free plan where they take just a 10% cut out of your each sale, and then you also have credit card fees and whatnot if they use PayPal and Stripe. So you're looking at maybe netting 85 to 86% of every sale, and then you're paying about 15% in fees. eJunkie, I'm not sure if they've got a free plan or not. I just know that they'll charge you for credit card fees. And then WooCommerce is free, but they've also got some add-on plugins that can charge money. So I pay $99 a year for this memberships plugin. So basically it allows me to lock different pages on my website that people can only get access to if they buy a membership. So like if I'm selling, a membership community with different levels, like maybe a gold, silver, and a bronze level that are all 3 different prices, depending on which membership they purchase, they get unlocked access to those resources and web pages on my website. The average person that doesn't have a membership, they'll click on those pages and it'll show that it's locked and say, sorry, you've got to sign up to be part of this program. So that costs me $99 a year. So really, I think it just kind of depends on, what you're trying to do in your online business. Obviously, if you have a website, that's going to be $60. We're talking maybe for a full year. And then if you use some kind of email service, typically you're going to pay $10 to $50 a month. So you might be looking at, $100 to $500 a year, depending on what software you're using. And then if you use, some kind of other platform, a lot of times they just take, to sell things, they just take fees out of each sale. They don't charge you like a monthly flat fee. But I know Teachable does have an upgraded plan where you can pay like $40 a month, I think it is. So that's another $500 a year. And that's so that you don't have to pay any transaction fees whatsoever on each sale. So if your business starts doing, $30,000 in sales on this platform, then you're only paying $500 a year to Teachable to run your courses on their platform. Whereas if you're on their free plan, where they take that 10% cut, then you multiply that by your $30,000 in sales you're doing each year. Now you're going to be paying them $3,000. So that's where you got to decide. You start out on that free plan, paying them 10%, and then once your sales, cross whatever this would be, about 5,000. So once your sales cross 5,000, you're kind of at that break-even point where if you're paying them 10% on that 5,000 in sales, you're going to be paying $500 in fees to them. So that's no different than being on their $40 a month plan where you're paying $500 a year. So at this point, if your business starts doing over $5,000, that's when I would upgrade and just pay this monthly fee. And that way it caps you off and you don't have to keep paying 10%, because if you're doing this much in sales, that's a lot to be paying in fees. So take that into consideration. Running a basic website, if you're not trying to do email marketing and sell things, if you just want a website, you can have a website for $60 per year. And then obviously social media accounts, those are free. So you could build a following on social media, send traffic through to your website. And then whatever happens after that, it just depends what kind of online business you're running. If you're selling your own products on your own website, you're promoting other people's products, then obviously you're just directing them to another website using an affiliate link. Or you send them to like a third-party website where they take out fees on each transaction that goes through. So that's kind of the basics, expenses of an online business. It's not very expensive. Adding all this up, you're looking at maybe $500-$600 a year. If you go, the website plus email route. It can also get a little bit higher if you start using, a lot of softwares. Over the time, I've upgraded to different softwares. I've got a podcasting software that allows me, to have a podcast. I've got YouTube videos I create, so I have video editing software I had to buy, audio editing software, website themes. So there's a lot of different expenses that can start adding up in your online business depending on how sophisticated you're going to get and what all you're doing. So it's hard to give an exact amount, but I'd say anywhere from $60 a year up to $500 to $600 a year. So for less than $1,000 a year, you can have your online business running, and it can start turning into a business, that produces $100,000 a year. So it's a pretty good return. You spend a little bit of money on your business. You've got a high profit margin because your expenses aren't that high, and you can produce lots and lots in revenue. So that's why a lot of businesses nowadays you're seeing are going to online, selling things online, because it cuts out a lot of overhead that a traditional brick and mortar retail store has. So thanks for watching today's video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. I upload videos every single day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.